Greg Marcoux. I'm one of the assistant directors of admissions here at RPI. I want to thank you all for coming today. I just put a little message in the chat about the chat. It is a moderated chat, so when you submit a question, I will see it first, and then I will kind of answer one question at a time as we go. I will be saving anything specific for our presenter for the end so that he can answer them. So feel free to submit your questions at any time via chat, and we will get to them. We have about an hour saved up for this webinar. I will give it a couple more minutes, another minute or two. We are expecting a few more people to show up, but once that happens, I will pass it on to our presenter. All right, so we will get started here. Again, thank you for attending. This is the webinar for our Civil and Environmental Engineering Department, and I will pass it off to Dr. Uchida. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I am assistant professor in Civil and Environmental Engineering, and my major is Geotechnical Engineering. Today, I will talk about why RPI Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute CEE Civil and Environmental Engineering is the best choice for you. Since we cannot see each other, at least I would like to show my face like that. So this is me, second from the bottom here. At least this is the person you're hearing from. Okay. All right. So 3 reasons why Civil and Environmental Engineering RPI is the best choice for you. And first reason is the history, second is resources, and third are the people. And before starting, like Greg said, if you have questions, please type in the chat box anytime, and Greg will answer admin-related questions while I talk, and I will answer Civil and Environmental Engineering-related questions at the end. So anytime, if you have any questions, just type in, and we'll go from there. All right, first reason. Reason number 1 is history. We are the oldest technological university in English-speaking countries, founded 1824, which is about 200 years ago. And this is RPI, but they're not just RPI. We are the first civil engineering. We are the first university awarded civil engineering degree in 1835, which is again about 200 years ago. So before that, there are no civil engineers, but we started in the US. And we are also the first university who awarded environmental engineering degree, which was 1961. So before this, there was no environmental engineers. So we are the first university who produced civil and environmental engineers in the US. And because of that, we have lots of long history, and we can, even today, we can have sort of legacy of how it looks. So here is a very nice weather. Today is not really nice weather in Troy, by the way. But if it's very nice weather summer, our campus looks something like that. And the red box is where our President Jackson stays. And this is where RPI sort of started. Because next slide is, this is a map, the same building looking from the top, and the same building, if you close up, this column sculpture, on top of a column sculpture, the horizontal bar says civil engineering. So this is very, very beautiful building, and this buildings is where produced lots of famous civil and environmental engineers for a long time now. Who are they? For example, we have many famous alumni from left to so clockwise. First one, top left, is George W. Ferris, who's the inventor of Ferris wheel, and second is Ralph Peck. The third of geotechnical engineers called Van Talzagi, and he worked with Ralph Peck, so I call him sort of son of geotechnical engineering. And the third is Washington Roebling, who's the builder of Brooklyn Bridge. And we, in our department, we have piece of old Brooklyn Bridge, the wood. So if you come here, you can see how the old Brooklyn Bridge looks like. And the fourth one is Seiji Rohirai. He graduated from RPI and who started railway systems in Japan. It was like imperial time, wartime, so it was before. It's called Imperial Railway, Imperial Japan or Imperial Tokyo or something like that. But then they are based on our knowledge, they built this fantastic railway system. If you haven't been to Japan, like, you should try the train system. It's very punctual, very efficient, and it's really simply amazing. And that comes from us. So those, in addition to those very famous alumni, like we have a lot more, by the way, we have a lot more famous alumni. And in addition to these people, what long history brings to us are the following sort of three main features. First of all, recognition. Because we have long history and many civil and environment engineers know us. So we recognize both nationally and internationally. Because before us, there were no civil and environment engineers. So we are sort of like, we started this. So we are highly recognized. And second point is connection. We are very strongly tied with civil and environmental communities, locally here, around here, nationally in the US, and also worldwide. So you have many opportunities to meet and make connections with practice engineers and also academia, and to intern for them as well. Internship is part of the big thing for undergraduate study at RPI. And at civil engineering department, you don't really have problems getting internship because we have very strong connections. And third one is stability. Because we have long history, we have contributed to society for a long time and still continue to do so. And this long-lasting RPIC alumni network is not going to disappear. It's not going to disappear overnight. So especially current situation, you might be wondering what's going to happen in the future. But we are here before, 200 years ago we're here, and we're here now. And because of that, we can guarantee you that we will be here in the future. So we have very strong stability and long-standing connection, long-standing contribution. And we've been recognized by many journals and articles. One of them is published in an American Society of Civil Engineers journal, Civil Engineer magazine, and we can read it. So once you go back to this video, you can scan this QR code and you can read this article, which is really nicely written. And one of the concluding remark is that they as in RPI, we built America. And that might be a stretch, yeah, but not too much of a stretch. Because before us, there was no civil and environment engineers. So we are sort of like, we built America. That's what they concluded. So it's a nice feel. We have long-standing history, long contributions to this entire society. So the wrap up sort of first point history. When you join, you'll become part of our long history, and which is very important. Yes, civil and environmental degree is very important and useful, but here the second line, RPI brand is as important, if not more, as important as the civil and environmental engineering degree itself. So long history. This is one of the things we are so proud of. And moving on to second reason. Second reason's resources. We have the state-of-the-art research facilities. Because I do geotechnical engineering, I want to talk about this. And this is a geotechnical centrifuge. And what it does is, what controls soil behavior is gravity. So if you want to know soil behavior under 10 meter deep, then you have to create 10 meter of soil column, which is practically impossible. So the genius people about 200 years ago thought, what if we increase gravity? So let's say we can increase gravity by 100 times, then we can model 10 meter deep soil column by 10 centimeter soil column. So this apparatus called geotechnical centrifuge does spin and increase gravity. And this produces lots of world-leading researches. In the world, there are about 30 centrifuges, and I have to say I was the best. So this is one of the things I'm really proud of. Because I do geotechnical engineering, so I'm really biased, but then, yeah, this is what we do. And other things such as hydraulic flume, so you flow water and then understand how it behaves, and also earthquake shake table, so you can simulate earthquakes and check how structure withstands. And these are producing lots of world-leading researches, but this is first line. These facilities have helped us conducting world-leading research, but what I want to tell you is you will use these in your design class. And because of this world-class facility, you apply your fundamental principles, which you learned from the book or from the lectures, and you apply that to engineering solutions. So you use these facilities and then do this hands-on experiments, physical modeling, which is very, very important part of civil and environment engineering. And I created a video link, and which I couldn't really share this time. So please go to the video link to the virtual laboratory tools when you have time, which is next slides. Sorry, here. So I created a QR code, and if you have any trouble accessing it, just let us know. I think this is nicely done, but then, yeah, because of the overshooting internet video access nowadays, I don't know how well it works, but then try. Please try and get the virtual video tool. Well, of course, when you come here on campus, then you can do this tour on physically. So, but if you're interested, you can have a look. Those nice laboratories. Resources, we have other things, such as this. American Society of Civil Engineers, ASCE's student chapter. Because we have very long history, and ASCE, this society started with us pretty much, because before us, there are no civil and environmental engineers in the US. So the ASCE sort of started with us. And because of that, they really recognize, they really appreciate our input. So they awarded sort of special student chapter to us. And so we host student events, we host local conferences, and which are run by students. And so when you come here, you join the society, and then you get involved with many big projects, and you get to meet many people, many civil and environmental engineers around here or around the world through these activities. And this is very, very powerful. One of my graduate students, not graduate students, one of the recently graduated students, undergrad students who are now practicing engineer, told me that because of this ASCE student chapter, he got to know many people, so he had no trouble going through this practicing engineering society. So this is very, very important part of your education here at RPI. And then it's not just history and not the older part. Currently, we are doing great as well. So student chapter, they do sort of student competition. And as recently, last February, we won GeoWall competition. They do like steel bridge competition, concrete canoes competition, and GeoWall is one of them, and we won. So it's a first place in the US. So it's something we should be proud of, and we are proud of. So, and you become part of these team. So it's a very exciting society here. And other than the AC society, we have lots more resources on campus. First one is academic and personal support. So we have mentor, we have advisor, we have tutor, and you'll be well looked after. So we do make sure you follow, you understand every single lectures. And this is very, very nice to run as well. And we have relatively small university, so you have mentor, advisor, and the ratio is a decent. One professor is looking after 10 students or something like that. So it's very, very nice system. And we have clubs and sports and other activities. Regionally, because we are not sort of cold upstate New York region, ice hockey is pretty good. Other sports is very good as well. And if you're interested, I can touch on that in a minute or so. Undergraduate research, if you're interested in research, you can do that as well. And other services, for example, shops and cafes and libraries. Our library collection books is very, very impressive, especially civil and environmental engineering, because we have long history. So we have lots of books which are published a long time ago, original manuscripts as well, and computing offices. So you have many resources. So when you join, your time here will be full of exciting activities. Well, obviously including studying, you have to study, but then these are supported by advanced facilities like centrifuge and other facilities, and also advising resources like ask professors and have advisors, tutors, mentors, and also a variety of clubs, sport and other readings and orchestra and things like that. Right, so then these are sort of like second reason resources. And third one, the last one but not the least, people. We have 17 professors, and I'm going to introduce each briefly what they do. First one is structural engineers. So we have 4 professors, head of a department at the top, Chris Letchford, Professor Mohammed Al-Nagar, and Mike Rogue, and Mike Simmons. Professor Chris Letchford, who's the head of department, he teaches Introduction to Structural Engineering. And he remembers every single one of you, even after graduation, which is amazing. The head of a department knows every single one of you. Is very, very rare. So he knows everyone and he teaches very well, and he's one of the most liked professors here. And then other professors do fantastic researches. These are world experts in their area. For example, snow load code development on the left-hand side, because we have lots of snow in winter, and Professor Michael Rogue developed this snow load code, and then everyone, not just United States, but internationally, this code is applied. So he's the snow load expert. Right-hand side, a fragility assessment by shake table. So you do earthquakes analysis and then create a structure which is strong enough to withstand earthquakes, which is Mike Simmons and work, and also Professor Al-Nagar's work as well. I didn't have, I'm not going into too much of detail, but then Professor Al-Nagar creates this innovative concrete material as well, and he does 3D printings and something more advanced as well. This is structural engineering. The second one is, so we have 4 disciplines, structural engineering, transportation engineering, and environmental engineering, and a geotechnical engineering. This is what I do. So now is the second one, transportation engineering. We have 4 professors, Professor Jack Riley, Jose, Sean, and Kara. sorry, because we have great friends, so I'm gonna start calling them by first name. What they do is amazing. We do transportation engineering, especially related to logistics. And so we have Center for that, Smart Transportation Systems and Transportation Data Analysis, right-hand side, Sustainable Urban Freight System Center. And Jose is being recognized. He's now a fellow of AC, American Society of Civil Engineers, and he's visited White House because he got the medal of his contribution, by his contribution. So if you Google it, I think his name is there, and he can see how he looks, and he's getting medal from White House as well. Third one is environmental engineering. We have 3 professors, Mariam and Raphael and Chip Kudov. And they do amazing jobs. Yes. For example, they do remediation, clockwise environmental chemistry. So they're looking at trying to purify environment through chemical approach, so biochemical approach, which is very, very important nowadays. And a stormwater control, which is nowadays we see like drastic change in climate. So it's very, very important. And water purification. One of the biggest contributions from them is we have Lake George up north, which is one of the most beautiful lakes in the States. And we've been contributing to purifying and also assessing environmental impact of whatever we do. So we've been contributing locally and also internationally as well. And the last one is geotechnical engineering. This is what I do. We have majority, actually, we have 6 professors now. Tarek Abdoum, Victoria Bennett, Professor Ricardo Dobry, who's a fellow of ACE and is very well known in earthquakes area. Me, Shinu Chida, and Murad Zegal, and Tom Zimi. Because of centrifuge, we're very, very good at this earthquakes modeling, and also Hurricane Katrina. Because of the centrifuge, we can do many physical modeling. So we contributed to prevent river failure in the future. And I do energy geotechnics. So I work with the Department of Energy. So very brief research explanation or description. I don't want to spend too much on research. So if you're interested, please contact us. If you want to interested in structural engineering, then you can contact Professor Letchford and things like that. If you're interested in geotech, and you can contact me. Right, so these are people, and these are people, we have 17 professors who are world-leading experts. But what I want to say before concluding my talk, before finishing my talk, is this. I'm in 5 different universities, 5 different countries myself. And this is my 5th university, RPI. And I'm obviously biased, but I have to say, I'm convinced that RPI is the best. The reason is, like I said, 3 reasons: history and resources, but more importantly, and most importantly, people. Yes, we have world-leading experts, but not just experts. We are like family. We are relatively small. We all civil and environmental professors know each other. We really get on, and not just professors, staff, including staff. We are very, very close, and I really feel we are part of like RPIC family. And so we always have this sort of family feeling, and we know each other very, very well, which I didn't feel any other universities, my 4 other universities. Professors sometimes compete against each other and things like that. So we are very, very friendly environment, and we're very, very sort of family feel. And this is very, very strong. So even 5 years after my first graduate students graduated, they still contact me and then come visit us sometimes because they feel they belong to us. So this family feel is very, very important. And if you join, you'll become part of our family. So the left-hand side is a sort of graduation ceremony, and the middle is head of a department, wearing kilt. He's a Scottish descendant, so he does that. And then right-hand side is Victoria Bennett and my colleagues, and as sort of like showing real family, But then you are going to be part of our family.